Here, though, ENCA is investigating a school in Reiger Park where pupils were being disciplined through corporal punishment. Naturally, parents are hopping mad. They say the principal is not addressing the issue despite them raising their concerns. The Provincial Education Department is now probing the matter as well. As you're aware, corporal punishment was abolished in the late 90s. Tsegajo Mahi is covering this story for us. She joins us now live. So let's start with this. Tell us more about what's happening at the school.
Well, Shahan, good afternoon. So speaking to the parents, they explained to us that their children were beaten about 9 times on the hand, and they were also forced to sit on the floor. So that is currently what is happening, and parents are very concerned about their children, mainly because they're saying that their children are now even scared to go to school and scared to miss a day of school or to not hand in their homework. We understand that this particular principal has said to these children that if they do not hand in their homework or if their homework is not complete, that they will sit on the floor, and this also goes to them being late for school. Parents have now had to find ways to find transport money. So these grade 12 learners actually walk to school, and now the parents have had to find transport money for these children to be able to get a taxi from home all the way to school at the Reiger Park Secondary School. So parents are really upset about what has taken place. They say they have laid a complaint with the district and they have received no response as yet. Let's just take a closer listen.
The story from the child is that the teacher, the kids didn't submit the schoolwork. They didn't finish the schoolwork. So now the teacher hit the kids with it's a small sambok, and then she hit them 9 times at the hands. And thereafter, she instructed the kids to sit down on the floor for the rest of the period.
So I understand you also spoke to the South African Council of Educators. What are they saying?
Shahan, they are quite surprised that this has actually taken place. I mean, we know that corporal punishment was banned from the late 90s, and they are very surprised that this has now taken place. They say they will also find out what exactly is happening. But the SACE CEO really saying to us that, you know, teachers need to remember that they are there to teach these children, and any form of corporal punishment or any form of punishment really will have consequences on learners. They are also saying that teachers need to remember that the job is to teach these children and not to make them afraid to actually go to school. That they need to remember that corporal punishment was banned in all forms constitutionally, and even in their own, the Schools Act it also banned corporal punishment, and this is something that teachers need to keep in mind. They are very shocked, but they are also saying that parents need to remember to actually lay charges against these teachers, or to actually speak out when things like these happen. And when I mentioned, when they know that the principal, it seems as though the principal has taken no action on this particular teacher, and they are quite surprised that this is now the case, that it has gotten so far that children are even scared to be going to school or not to be completing their homework. I mean, the parents that I spoke to, Shahan, mentioning that the children don't even sleep, or they hardly sleep. They get very little amount of sleep in a night. Some of the children, they get home and they don't even eat when they arrive home. No matter how hungry they feel, they'd rather start their schoolwork. And says that any form of corporal punishment really will have a negative impact on children, and this is now what we're seeing. Let's take a listen to what the CEO had to say.
For us, corporal punishment is not only physical. It can be something that an educator does, and it has got emotional consequences, it has got psychological consequences on a child, and a whole lot of other implications. So putting that child on the concrete floor, it has got implication even health-wise, because we wouldn't even know what the child might be suffering from. And putting children under such harsh conditions is not acceptable within the profession.
So are parents actually considering laying charges?
Well, parents are saying that they want to first see what the school will do and what action will be taken by the Department of Education. And of course, they say that they've laid charge, or they've mentioned this to the district within the area of Boksburg, and they are hoping that action will be taken against this particular teacher. So at the moment, they want to see what will actually take place, and then they will decide on whether to actually go to the police and open a case against this particular teacher. But Steve Mabona saying that they are actually also busy investigating investigating this matter. The department, the provincial department is on this matter and they're investigating, and the necessary processes will follow from this. Let's listen to what Steve Mabona said.
Well, we can confirm that such allegations came to our attention through the district. We have started with the process of an investigation. As you will know that in such situation, you need to investigate. If there's a need for you to continue with the disciplinary process, you will then be informed by what do you gather when you conduct your investigation. So like as I'm saying, that is something that got to the attention of the district, and they acted immediately because they then launched an investigation, which we can confirm that such investigation has been launched. And, that was Thursday. As you might recall that we are from a long weekend. And today I'm assured that we will then continue with the process of, interacting with all those that might be affected by this, and they will pave the way forward on what is going to be the action moving forward.